Hello, and welcome to another Iowa State Park video. This one will be on Summerset State Park, or as it's more commonly called, Banner Lakes at Summerset State Park. And here we'll see us walking down. We did the Riverside Trail to start. It's a pretty easy 2 mile and a half trail or so, including the walk back along the paved road. You see it's very single lane throughout much of this park and a lot of dirt. One of the most popular activities here is dirt biking. This is a new park that was built in 2004, built off an old coal mine, and that's where the ponds or lakes, as they're called, Banner Lakes, come from, the Banner Coal Company. Here we see the Riverside Trail, though. We're along the North River here, one of 3 rivers that comes in. There's some of the bike trail or bike markings that are left, as there are bikes all over the park. We enjoy hiking. The hiking trails are fine. They're a little disconnected. You get some nice scenery. This actually has some of the most technical hikes in the area, technical being hiking code for steep. As there are a few places where you go pretty much straight uphill, which is fun and different and not something that you get a lot of in Iowa. But even on those very steep trails, you still have bikes coming at you all the time, so you have to be on the lookout. That was something we didn't really enjoy as much, because I do like hiking for the peace and for getting out in nature and not necessarily worrying about avoiding bikes. Here's a good look at the river. A lot of the rivers this time of year are low. Lower this year even than some years in the past. And you can see there's some inventive trail parts as well. It's probably a lot more fun over a bike than it is to climb over. Throughout the park there are these little remnants of trails, wood bridges essentially, that seem like they're not really needed. The park can get quite a bit more water in the rainier seasons, although it has been raining a little bit less around here anyway. There's another look at the river, and the next little bit shows you just how deep the channel gets in that river at one point. You see the flat bottom, and then you see the big drop-off, relatively narrow drop-off, but there is a big drop-off there. And some of the mushrooms that you'll see throughout the trail. I do like getting pictures of what's actually growing out there. These vines have been swarming up many of the trees. We saw them more in a couple other parks, but we are getting some more invasive species here in Iowa, including those vines that start to choke those trees out. Just a nice little view of the river again before we move on. The Missing Link Trail. These are nice trail signs on these, and you'll notice the little green circle with the swirl there. That is the mountain bike rating. They have easy, moderate, and difficult trails, and that basically applies for the hiking as well. The difficult trails are going to wind you way up a hill, lots of switchbacks. We did a moderate trail, the New Ed Beach Trail, and this Missing Link Trail takes you to, and that was pretty good. A couple of steep spots, not too bad, but led to some nice vistas. That was actually a little aspen grove that we found tucked away in the park, which was very neat. As I said, this is on an old coal mine. A lot of these paths are built on the coal mine tailings, which are just stacked up rock essentially. The lakes, the Banner Lakes, are built in the old strip mine area. Iowa used to be a hotbed of coal mining. It used to be a pretty decent producer of coal. These mines were opened in the 1930s. They were closed by the 1990s. It was turned into a state park, as I said, in 2004. And they built numerous trails. Again, the trails don't necessarily all connect, but here you'll see, as we come up this New Ed Beach Trail, you get some great vistas on this trail of the lakes that they've let fill in over the years. The lakes themselves are no wake, can take electric motors out on them. They're good for paddling. They're stocked for fishing. Here you see some more with a little bit more of the challenging in it. And you'll see how narrow these trails are, and that's one of the big reasons why you got to keep on the lookout for bikes. There's not a lot of space to go 2 or 3 wide here. So the lakes, as I said, are stocked. Bass, bluegill, catfish. There's winter trout fishing, which is pretty popular. Again, some of the nice views of the lakes from the hiking trails. And you can get down to the lakes at various different points. They're not advisable for swimming. They are old coal mines, which means they have big drop-offs, they have jagged bottoms, they get very deep very fast in different places. Very similar to when you have gravel pits that are converted into lakes. Good for paddling, good for boating, they're stocked for fishing. Don't go swimming in these, they're not built for that. But great scenery while you're biking or hiking around. You can see some of the rocks left on the trail, give it a little bit of character, which I appreciated. Some of the turns are banked as well. Now here's some more of those wooden planks that we'll see where there were trails. I did find out that one of these was called the Dogbone Trail. It was built by Iowa State University students to be kind of a technical biking trail back in 2012, but they've done no maintenance on it at all. That's really where this part is. It's designed to be kind of a challenging bike trail, and then they just didn't maintain it. So it's important to maintain your trails. And this is a little connector, and I really like this because it's like walking down almost a hallway. Did see quite a few plants throughout the park. So there's good nature out there for a place that was a coal mine as little as 20 years ago or so. So here's a look at some of the plants as we go through. A couple of junipers out there with berries in bloom. Some nice wildflowers. Another nice view of the lake. There's a couple of boat ramps. Again, nice for boating, nice for fishing, nice for paddling. But you can see here how steeply it drops off. They do have a couple of little piers built out there for fishing off of, complete with benches. And you see how they have the breaks there. You can fish in them even if you're disabled or in a wheelchair, which is always an excellent touch. It's great that we give everybody an opportunity. You can see the boat ramp across the lake there. Doesn't that lake look like it'd be fun for paddling with all the little obstacles in it? View down the boat ramp. And the other last thing is that there's a shooting range out here as well. Here's one of the bike trails that runs through the park and connects to the surrounding towns. But there is a shooting range. One of the few in the Iowa State Park system. So if you want to get your guns out and take a few shots, here's the place to go. Overall, a nice park. Got to keep your eye out for the bikes. Really good hikes, though. Really good technical hiking. So definitely good for a day out.